How are the Red Sox doing? Well, you know how they're doing because they're on national TV every goddamn day. I get it. I was so frustrated with the Marlins. We were never on Sunday Night Baseball, never the Fox game of the week, always the alternate third Fox game shown to 4% of the country. It's always Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees. Oh, drove me crazy. Not that we got less money, because we actually got more money because the national broadcasters would pay more for the right to choose these big market teams like the Red Sox and Yankees. And we split a 30th of that. So I didn't complain about the financial part. It was an ego call for me. I was bothered because I wanted the Marlins to get national attention. It's the same way that your teams in the NBA playoffs starting today, when they have afternoon games, they're all complaining here how Miami has no primetime games in the first round and how bad it is, yada, yada, yada. I get it. When we had to play afternoon games in the playoffs in 2003 against the Giants, I thought it was outrageous. Barry Bonds, 100-win team against the hottest team in baseball, best team in baseball since May, and we're playing in the afternoon? Come on, man. It's wrong. But where it really gets screwed up for me is when you have to watch a team like the Red Sox who just flat out stink. Remember, they traded David Price to the Dodgers. He opted out. They traded Mookie Betts to the Dodgers. He's a Dodger now there for 12 more years after this. Chris Sale, they signed to that long-term deal when they shouldn't have. He's on Tommy John. Done. Eduardo Rodriguez, COVID, fake myocarditis. Well, he's fake pitching, and the people replacing him look real to me, and they stink. They've used like 11 or 12 starters already. Can't win a game. They're 10 games under. They had a team meeting, and outside, they were very clear. Here's what we would do with team meetings. I think I may have said this before, but I want to reiterate it. You only have a team meeting. Coco, will you check who the Red Sox next game is? Do they play tonight? And who they're playing and who's pitching? Because you only have a team meeting right before your best pitcher is pitching against a crappy team. You don't do a team meeting when you're going into a game against an opposing team's ace. We would never have a meeting about to play the Nationals and face Max Scherzer or Steven Strasburg or Jacob deGrom of the Mets. You have a team meeting when you're going to win. So the Red Sox have an off day and they play the Phillies tomorrow. It's 2-game series. Who's pitching tomorrow? Has it been announced? I'm sure the actual Red Sox have not announced who's pitching because their whole staff is TBA other than Evaldi. It's like Evaldi and 4 rainouts is what they're hoping for. Expos fans will remember that line. Javier Vasquez and 4 rainouts. So Chaim Bloom is the new chief baseball officer. He watched his players have a team meeting outside. You have to say your meeting's outside now. They did it at the team hotel. And so they have the meeting. And then Chaim Bloom speaks to the media and gives 2 what I thought were absolutely perfect quotes. By the way, Coke is on it. The Red Sox are pitching godly. Who are the Phillies going with? Do you know? Has it been announced? Scheduled? Eflin? There you go. They weren't going to do it against Nola. Boston team meeting. So Chaim Bloom comes out. And I just want to read you a quote from him because it made me smile. When you're the new chief baseball officer, which is the new president of baseball operations, which is the GM, he came from Tampa. He's now got all this money, except he can't spend it because they're trying to get below the luxury tax threshold. He thought he was getting out of Tampa, and now he's actually into a worse situation because Tampa's ahead of them in the standings. Will make the playoffs and the Red Sox have no chance. But when your team's doing well, there is a line that you have to say to start off any statement. Number 1. Obviously, the results have not been what we wanted. I reiterate again, needless to say, irregardless, in regards to, obviously. Try to avoid all of those if you can, because it is obvious. It's so obvious, you don't have to say a thing. Obviously, the results have not been what we wanted. Then he went on to say, from day one here, I felt like long-term sustainability needed to be a really important priority here. You're not with the Rays anymore, Chaim. You're with the Red Sox. Now, granted, they've won more World Series since 2004 than anybody. Granted, they go World Series, last place, World Series, last place. It's not uncommon, and it's not a bad plan. If you could promise yourself when you run a team and talk to your fans and say, listen, here's what the next 15 years will look like. 4 World Series championships and 11 last place finishes. Are you in or are you out? The final score, 100 fans surveyed, top 3 answers on the board. Over the next 15 years, you will have 4 championships and 11 last place finishes. Are you in or are you out? In. Survey says 100 out of 100. So when he talks about long-term sustainability and how important it is a priority, that's page 2 of the playbook. Because when you're doing well in the current season and you trade away prospects to get a veteran to help you win, what you say to your fans is, when we have a chance to win, we've got to go for it. When you trade your veterans because you're not doing well and get back prospects, you say, we've got to be realistic. And we believe that bringing these players in will help the long-term success of this team. Your statement always plays to the facts at hand, and it makes it boring. So Chaim Bloom has a lot of work to do. The Red Sox stink, and if you don't believe me, they'll be on national television again soon.